Adobe Acrobat Studio, your new foundation. Use PDF Spaces to generate a presentation. Grab your docs, your permits, your moves. AI levels up your pitch, gets it in a groove. Choose a template with your timeless cool. Come on now, let's flex those tools. Draft, design, deliver, make it sing. AI builds the deck so you can build that thing. Do that, do that, do that with Acrobat.
Learn more at adobe.com/do-that-with-Acrobat.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, we have a special guest this Sunday morning. He is Brendan Carr. He's chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, and he's making a lot of changes. So many great changes that President Trump recognized him at a special White House meeting this week. And, well, Mr. Chairman, congratulations on the president recognizing you.
Well, thanks much, and great to be with you. I've been such a big fan of your program and your shows. You're doing such great work getting the word out there to so many different people. It's good to be with you. But it was a lot of fun spending time with the president. He was awarding the Commander-in-Chief Trophy to Navy football and had the chance to visit with him at the White House. He also signed an executive order that will protect the Army-Navy game and make sure there's not other broadcast college football games that are airing right on top of it. We want to preserve that Army-Navy game. It's America's game. It's a demonstration of America's spirit and the excellence of all of our service members, and so we're trying to protect that. And it was wonderful to visit with the president again. He's such an inspiration for all of us in government to work hard, go big, and keep pushing through.
There's been so many challenges in the last 4, 5, 6 years, and one of them being with all the electric vehicles, they used it as an excuse to take out AM radio, which is part of FEMA and is a very valuable commodity to the American people. Where do you think we stand on that?
This is a really important issue that I think has flown under the radar for too many people. As you know, AM radio is the lifeblood of so many communities all across this country. And as you pointed out, it's also part of our emergency response network. So we need to protect AM radio and make sure that signal continues to get out there. One issue that has arisen is that a lot of electronic vehicles, EVs, don't want to put AM radio in their vehicles. And at first, they were claiming that there'd be too much interference between the EV and its electronics and the AM radio signal, so you would just get static. Well, it turns out that there's very minimal shielding that you can put in place to make sure that AM radio continues to work in EVs. And so, as you noted, there's a big legislative effort in Congress to save AM radio by making sure that EVs continue to put it in there. And I think that's a great thing. There's a big, strong push for it in Congress. Senator Cruz, who's the chairman of the Commerce Committee, is pushing hard for it right now. And that would be a great win for so many communities if we can get that across the finish line.
I agree with you, and there's been a lot of give and take. The Senate, I think there were 62 senators voting for it or wanted to vote for it, and there's almost 300 U.S. congressmen, so it's a bipartisan thing. But some of the car companies, and I talked to President Trump about it, and he talked to them, that they're trying to get like an 8-year setback or a 10-year setback. And you want to know something? They only want to do that for one reason, that they're hoping that there's going to be a change in Washington and they'll be able to do whatever they want again.
That's probably right. I think that's why it's important that we get this done, get it done in a clean way, give certainty to AM radio. I think that'll be a significant victory here.
I agree with you. Now, you've been doing some other things, especially in California. What is it called? Build America.
Yeah, there's a number of things that are going on. We're running here at the FCC a Build America agenda. This is exactly the type of effort that President Trump wants agencies across D.C. to be running. We are effectively trying to get internet infrastructure builds to get going in this country much faster. A lot of your listeners may recall during the Biden years, Vice President Harris was put in charge of a $42 billion program to get millions of Americans connected to the internet. And flash forward more than 1,000 days of Vice President Harris running that program, and not a single person was connected, not a single shovel's worth of dirt was even turned. But President Trump is stepping in and turning that around, and we are seeing high-speed internet bills get accelerated. We're seeing, more and more satellites get launched that are providing high-speed service. There's a lot of really good things happening. Now, on the other side of the coin, California is a bit of an issue right now. So Gavin Newsom has a big fraud problem over there. The Inspector General of the FCC recently came out with a report that found that there was 94,000 dead people that had been signed up to receive subsidized phone and internet service, subsidized by.
Hold on, let me say something.
Public.
Oh my God, I can't. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, so either there's a massive zombie problem in California, or there is some serious fraud taking place. This is millions of dollars, millions of your dollars that was somehow being used to provide phone, internet service to dead people. And more than that, when Governor Newsom came into office, he promised to fix the state's 911 system, right? When you call 911, that call has to go through. And California had an aging, antiquated system. But there again, Governor Newsom spent, I believe, hundreds of millions of dollars to put in a new system. And when they turned the system on, it didn't work. And effectively, that money was a complete waste. And California is now still stuck on that antiquated, outdated 911 system. So while we're moving quickly in the right direction here in D.C. under President Trump's leadership, California is continuing to suffer under Governor Newsom's.
Understood. What else would you like to talk to the American people about on a Sunday morning?
Well, we're working hard in D.C. One thing that we're doing, too, is robocalls. I know robocalls are an annoyance to every single American. They are to me as well. And we're trying something new. It used to be, historically, the FCC would do very long investigations. They would issue hundreds of millions of dollars worth of fines to one or two people. But the people were judgment-proof, and they would move on. So we're trying something else, which is we're attacking the problem of robocalls at every single portion of the life cycle of the call. We're making it harder to get phone numbers. We're making it harder for them to interconnect to our networks. We're making it harder for them to stay with the ability to deliver traffic. And so we're really pouring a lot of resources into it. We're seeing some results. I know it's not an area where we're going to raise the mission accomplished flag or anything like that, but I can assure you that we are working hard to try to crack down on that issue.
And let me see. I mean, I'm looking at my list here, and there's so many things to talk about. Is there any particular areas, other areas that AM and FM and electronic radios in electric cars?
Well, one issue on the media side in particular that we're working on is, as you know, particularly on the TV side, it's become really dominated by a small number of national programmers like Comcast and Disney. And historically, there was this great balance of power between what we call local broadcast TV stations on the one hand and these national programmers on the other. But over the last 10, 15 years, the national programmers, Comcast and Disney, have amassed enormous power, and they're effectively using those broadcast TV stations as their own little mouthpieces to get their news and information out that only those programmers want. So we're trying to re-empower those local TV stations to actually identify the needs of their local communities and to serve the needs of their local communities, and we're more work to do.
The other big item that happened last week, CBS News Radio, which has been around since 1927, all of a sudden announced that they're giving up their syndication, I guess, of their radio shows, CBS, for news.
I did see that. I think, as a general matter, I'm actually pretty pleased with the changes that we've seen taking place at CBS. Barry Weiss, I think, is doing a pretty good job. She's at least shaking things up. If you look at Comcast and Disney, the ratings for their programs just continue to go down and down and down, and the trust in their programming is at an all-time low. There was a study out that showed that trust in legacy national media is now down to 9% in terms of the percentage of the American public that has a great deal of trust in that. And so something has to change. I'm glad that Barry Weiss is at least shaking things up and trying to do something different. And it's interesting to see who is attacking CBS when this entire industry is struggling it's good to see someone try to just do something different.
Well, Brendan Carr, chairman of the FCC, and recognized by the president last week. Congratulations again. Thank you so much for coming on this Sunday morning and telling the people of our country what the heck is going on. And looking forward to talking to you again in the near future.
Thanks, John. I really appreciate it. You always have a wonderful program. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Thank you.